We've actually experienced at the City of Stow several challenges with the inspection process over the years, including lack of available staff, making sure that we were responsive to customers when they requested inspections, and on our end, internally, processing paperwork in a timely fashion and keeping records in a manner that was convenient for us so that we could access them and didn't get stuck with boxes and reams of paper sitting around in storage.
Everything that we were doing was basically manual. From the time we took an inspection request over the phone to writing up an inspection card, the inspector taking it out in the field, it was multiple transactions that were in place with one piece of paper and one inspection.
I would say the challenges that our local contractors had were getting responses back in a manner that suited their needs.
An inspection could be performed on, say, today, a Monday afternoon. And if they weren't on site, they would have to drive to the site to get the inspections results from a paper form that was attached to the actual building. Or they could wait until Tuesday and phone in for the results.
A lot of times a piece of paper would have been left on the job site, and not all contractors are on the job throughout the whole day. So they'd end up, being on the road and having to call in to find out if their inspection had passed or not.
With residents, I would say the same thing, because they would often come in on a day off to pull a permit, and then they would rely on the city to communicate with them following the inspection of their roof or their deck or whatever project they had going on residentially.
Again, we're repeating various duties or tasks over and over again. It was very redundant.
We had employees from several city departments part of our Kaizen event, and we do that purposefully, not only the departments that are immediately and directly impacted, but individuals from other departments who can offer insights and comments because they're on the outside of the project and they have a different way of looking at things.
There were representatives from information technology, from the fire department, a few people from the service department, from the planning department, and the building department.
We had a wide variety of staff. Additionally, our service director and myself and finance participated to really make suggestions as how to make this the best process for our customers. The Kaizen events are very intense. It's a long day when you're sitting in the meetings, but it's very productive. And we've worked hard to carve out time for our employees who participate in a variety of Kaizen events that we've done so that they can devote as much time as they need to and understand that this is a process we want to capture from start to finish. With the Kaizen events, it's fun, it's intense, it can be tiring, but it's very rewarding to know that at the end of the 3 or 4 or 5 days, you're going to come up with an idea and a project that's ready to go.
The general attitude of the participants in the Kaizen event was they entered the project tentative and skeptical, not really knowing what we were doing there, why they were asked to take so much time off of work.
Once people understand lean, understand the importance and the value of what it can do, and that it's not about cutting jobs, it's about cutting lost time and making employees more valued and empowered to make changes and make suggestions so that their jobs are more efficient, easier for them to manage.
And then after a few days, they opened up and they really started to enjoy it, started to see the value of it, started to think freely.
Because again, we were utilizing sources that were at our fingertips the whole entire time that we didn't know we could utilize.
And everyone, no matter what department they work in, enjoys being as responsive and helpful to our customers as possible.
It was very rewarding to see them open up and start to get into it and see the value of it once we got rolling.
During the Kaizen event for the inspection process, the team used process mapping, and that allowed them to really see the step-by-step process that everyone had to take for a single inspection.
It was the first time that the building clerks, the building inspectors, everybody there saw how many steps was involved in just scheduling an inspection.
And it also was a very eye-opening experience for people who necessarily didn't work in the department and didn't understand the complexity of an inspection process.
It turned out that from the time somebody called in for an inspection to the point where the inspector went on the inspection, there was 103 steps involved. 7 different tracks. There was a different track for every department who conducted an inspection, and that was a real eye-opener for everybody involved.
The other thing we emphasize here at the City of Stow is walking the process. We believe it's very important to physically walk the process so that everyone on the team understands the time, the effort, the dedication that it can take to take a single piece of paper and shepherd it through an entire process. So we also employed that during the Kaizen event.
The new and improved process for scheduling an inspection with the City of Stow as a result of the process mapping was the number of steps was reduced from 103 to 62. The number of different tracks went from 7 to 4.
It's a lot shorter, it's a lot quicker, it's much more manageable because so much of it now is done electronically instead of with carbon copy paper that you have to press really hard with a pen to write through 3 copies.
It was very effective, and that was just eliminating the redundancy of the inspection cards that we were writing up and the overall where things were put. It's so much more efficient now.
Probably the most important thing is that a contractor or the public or anybody who requests an inspection can now receive the results right after the inspection is complete if they desire by email.
The best and most important thing to come out of this is the reduction in time, not only for our internal staff, but for our customers. That's a big, big improvement, and especially for people who are waiting on inspections so that the next phase of a project can commence, or a business can open, or someone can occupy a new space. That's a really significant improvement. I believe that there are costs that we have saved here at the city with this Kaizen event. While I don't have hard numbers to put to it that we saved $500,000 or even $500, I can tell you we have saved costs internally because staff are no longer taking steps in a process that they don't need to.
Just a reduction in time by city staff is a labor savings. You can imagine if a contractor has to drive halfway across the county to get the results from the inspection, that had to cost them time and money and gas. Now they receive it by email.
And additionally, for our customers, time is money. And so anytime you can get a response to a customer who's hired a contractor, who's doing a project, that saves them costs, and that's a very important thing.
Customers really love the improvements that were made as part of the inspections project. Just simply the fact that they can receive the inspection results immediately it's been very well received.
People have told us that this is, for example, contractors who deal with lots of municipalities or different public entities have told us numerous times that the City of Stow is one of their favorite places to work because we are so responsive and we are so receptive to their needs and able to get them information. So that's a great amount of feedback. And for a municipality, being able to attract business, attract customers, that's very important for our tax base and important for our sustainability. So I think that's a win-win-win for everybody involved.
The lean journey that the City of Stow is on has been a really rewarding experience.
I would definitely recommend a Kaizen event to other local governments. It's amazing how much can be streamlined in any aspect of what the Kaizen event is for.
I think it's something that the public sector can benefit from just as the private sector has benefited from. I think that there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from the business community and take the best of the processes that they have developed over the past couple decades and implement them into the concept of public service and the public sector.